Welcome to the course, Introduction to Ethical Hacking. In today's digital world, cyber threats are growing. Ethical hacking plays a crucial role in protecting sensitive data, systems, and networks from malicious attacks. Ethical hacking, a subset of cybersecurity, involves identifying and addressing vulnerabilities before malicious hackers can find them and exploit. Throughout this course, I will guide participants through cybersecurity and ethical hacking fundamentals. We will look at vulnerabilities causes, types, impacts, real-world examples, and mitigation strategies. We will learn attack types and the motives of different types of hackers, such as black hat, white hat, and gray hat hackers. We'll cover how to set up and use ethical hacking tools like Kali Linux and Burp Suite. In addition, we'll be looking at AI-driven ethical hacking, including AI-powered tools and their significance in cybersecurity. Participants will learn about cybersecurity laws and standards to guarantee ethical and lawful hacking techniques. In addition, we'll look at risk assessment approaches and effective security threat mitigation measures. Finally, we'll look at threat intelligence, its lifespan, and the importance of artificial intelligence and machine learning in cybersecurity. This course will provide learners with a solid foundation in ethical hacking, cybersecurity concepts, and developing AI-driven security techniques. In this video, we will understand the CEH v13 exam, its pattern, and other details. CEH stands for Certified Ethical Hacker. It is the certification provided by the EC Council and is one of the well-known certifications in cybersecurity. The exam checks your ethical hacking, penetration testing, and security auditing skills. EC Council keeps updating this exam based on industry trends. This certification helps you to think like a hacker and tackle real-world cybersecurity challenges. The latest version of CEH is version 13, which includes artificial intelligence, AI, related tools and techniques for ethical hacking. The CEH v13 exam contains 125 multiple-choice questions you must attempt in 4 hours. To pass the exam, you'll need a score between 60% and 85%, depending on the difficulty of the questions you receive. One important point to note is that there is no negative marking for incorrect answers, so I recommend attempting all the questions. The exam fee is $950, and you can purchase the exam voucher directly from EC Council. If you already hold a CEH v12 certification, you may be curious about the differences between CEH v12 and v13. Since the industry is moving toward AI, CEH v13 is more concentrated on ethical hacking driven by AI. In addition, compared to CEH v12, it covers cloud security more thoroughly and emphasizes practical applications. It covers updated real-world threats, ethical hacking tools, and modern cybersecurity changes or trends. Compared with CEH v12, 30 to 40% of updated content can be found in CEH v13. In CEH v13, the EC Council introduced new tools, integrated AI, and added more labs for practical implementation. From the exam complexity perspective, CEH v13 is seen as an intermediate-level certification since it requires basic knowledge of IT concepts and cybersecurity. For those wishing to enhance their ethical hacking and penetration testing skills, especially the usage of AI and ethical hacking, it is an excellent certification to have. In this video, we will discuss information security concepts. Information security refers to safeguarding information and the systems that store, process, or transmit it from unauthorized access, disclosure, or theft, tampering, and destruction. It is extremely important to safeguard information, as any information, especially sensitive information, if it falls into the hands of the wrong person, can induce a lot of damage in terms of financial loss and brand impact for the organization and individuals. Information security has 5 main elements: confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, and non-repudiation. Let's now explore these key elements of information security. The first 3 elements, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, form a triad called the CIA triad. In the CIA triad, C refers to confidentiality. Confidentiality means ensuring only authorized individuals can access the information and no one else. In simple terms, confidentiality ensures that the data is accessible only to authorized individuals. For example, in the healthcare sector, a patient's medical records should be accessible only to authorized doctors, and nobody else should have access to those health records. The next element of the CIA triad is I, which refers to integrity. Integrity refers to preserving the reliability of data or resources. So, integrity ensures that the trustworthiness of your data is preserved and that no data tampering is done by guarding against unauthorized tampering of data. For example, when you do an online transaction, if you transfer 100 USD to a recipient, only 100 USD shall be deducted from your account. An exact 100 USD only shall be credited to the recipient's account. The final element in the CIA triad is A, which refers to availability. Availability means ensuring that systems responsible for transmitting, storing, and processing data are accessible to authorized users when needed, so they can access data from anywhere and anytime. For example, a hospital's emergency response system must always be operational, so that doctors can quickly access patients' records when needed. There are two more elements in information security: authenticity and non-repudiation. Authenticity refers to guaranteeing that a communication, document, or data is genuine and can be verified. In simple terms, authenticity means making sure something is genuine and not fake. For example, logging into an account using a fingerprint or two-factor authentication ensures authenticity. The last element of information security is non-repudiation. Non-repudiation ensures that the sender cannot deny sending the message, as well as the recipient also cannot deny receiving the message. In simple terms, non-repudiation makes sure that both sender and recipient cannot deny their actions. For example, digitally signing an email ensures non-repudiation, as the sender cannot deny sending it. So these are the 5 elements of information security. Hope we are clear on these elements. Having understood what is information security, let's now explore what information security attacks are. Information security attacks are attacks in which attackers make unauthorized attempts to access, steal, change, or damage data, systems, or networks. Information security attacks can target individuals, organizations, or governments to compromise the CIA triad of information. The attack is a combination of motive or goal, method, TTP, and vulnerability. Let's begin with the motive and what it means. Attackers generally have motives and objectives behind information security attacks. A motive originates from the notion that a target system stores or processes something valuable, which leads to the threat of an attack on the system. The purpose of the attack may be to disrupt the target organization's business operations, steal valuable information, or even exact revenge. Let's talk about some common motives behind cyber attacks. First up, we have disrupting business continuity. This is when an attacker tries to disrupt normal business operations, making it hard for the business to continue running smoothly. Next, we have information theft. This happens when attackers steal sensitive data from an organization to use it for their gain. Another motive is manipulating data. Once they gain access, attackers may change or tamper with data to suit their needs. Then there's creating fear and chaos. Some attackers target critical infrastructures to disrupt things and cause confusion, often to gain control. Financial loss is also a big motivator. Many attackers are after money, causing significant financial harm to their targets. In some cases, attackers may be trying to push their own religious or political beliefs. Such an act could involve harming the beliefs of others just to satisfy their personal agenda. Revenge is another reason. Some attackers target others because of personal grudges or past issues. Lastly, we have ransom demands. This is when attackers hold data hostage and demand money in exchange for its release. So, these are some of the common motives for cyber attacks. In the next video, we will talk about TTP, which refers to tactics, techniques, and procedures. In this video, we will discuss tactics, techniques, and procedures, together called TTP, and describe how cyber attackers operate. Let us now understand the TTP. First are tactics, which describe the attacker strategy, such as initial access, privilege escalation, lateral movement, and evasion. Tactics refer to the overall objective of an attacker in a cyber attack. They represent high goals rather than specific methods. Understanding tactics adds more strength to predicting, detecting, and responding to threats using threat intelligence. Threat intelligence refers to how security teams gather and analyze information about cyber threats to stay ahead of attackers. Let's take an example to understand tactics. Say an attacker uses privilege escalation to gain higher access rights to a system so that he can execute undetected malicious actions there. Here, gaining higher access to the system is a tactic. Next is techniques. Techniques describe how attackers achieve their goals and objectives. For example, techniques could be data theft, SQL injection, credential dumping, and so on. Attackers use several methods to carry out their plans or strategies. Understanding attackers' methods enables cybersecurity professionals to build detection systems and take proactive measures. For example, an attacker may use phishing techniques to gain unauthorized access to a user's account. An attacker can send a fake email with a malicious link to trick the user into entering login credentials and gaining unauthorized access. So here, phishing is a technique. The next part of TTP is procedures. Procedures refer to step-by-step actions taken by attackers to execute techniques. Procedures are based on the respective targets, cover tools used, and the environment. A phishing procedure, for instance, consists of numerous steps, including creating fraudulent emails, including various harmful links, and automating password theft. Understanding procedures helps security teams to anticipate specific attack workflows. Having understood TTP, let's see why TTPs are important. Tactics, techniques, and procedures are crucial in cybersecurity because they help organizations understand, detect, and defend against cyber threats. Threat intelligence teams and security analysts examine TTPs to find attack trends and create defenses. Organizations may make it harder for cybercriminals to succeed by enhancing their incident response, threat hunting, and defensive tactics through the analysis of TTPs. Reducing security threats and practicing proactive cybersecurity requires an understanding of TTPs. Let's look at some key areas where TTPs are used. TTPs help in threat detection. Identifying TTP helps security teams to recognize attacks early and respond effectively. Once the threat is detected, it helps organizations to do proactive defense by predicting attacker behavior and strengthening security before an attack occurs. Next is incident investigation. Analyzing TTPs helps the forensic investigation team to trace and mitigate security breaches. TTPs help red teaming and pen testing. Red teaming refers to when experts mimic real attackers to test and strengthen an organization's security. So, TTPs help ethical hackers simulate real-world attacks to be more precise towards security and improve defenses. TTPs also help in security framework alignment like MITRE ATT and CK for structured defense planning. MITRE is the organization name that provides this framework, and ATT and CK stands for adversarial tactics, techniques, and common knowledge. Used worldwide, the MITRE ATT and CK framework is a knowledge base detailing how actual attackers act at every phase of a cyber attack. Many compliance standards, like ISO 27001, NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, and GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation, emphasize understanding attack techniques using TTPs. Hence, it becomes regulatory compliance as well. So, there are some of the areas where TTPs are used. We understood tactics, techniques, and procedures in this topic and their importance. In the next topic, we will discuss vulnerability and the common reasons behind its existence. This video will cover vulnerability together with examples, its effects, and causes. Let's begin. First, let us understand vulnerability. A vulnerability refers to a weakness in the design of a system that can be exploited to compromise the system's security. It is a security loophole that can enable an attacker to enter into the system by bypassing user authentication. For example, an outdated web application running an unpatched version of WordPress is a vulnerability because attackers can exploit known security flaws to gain unauthorized access or inject malware. So, what causes vulnerability? There are generally two main causes behind system vulnerability: software or hardware misconfiguration and poor programming practices. Attackers try to exploit these vulnerabilities to perform various attacks on organizational resources. Let's see in detail the common reasons for the existence of vulnerabilities. First comes the hardware or software misconfiguration, in which an insecure configuration in a particular network can lead to security loopholes or vulnerability. For example, the network may be vulnerable to attacks if the user does not configure the firewall correctly. This is called network device misconfiguration, where misconfigured network devices allow attackers to leverage the vulnerability and gain access to the network system. Similarly, misconfiguration or the use of an unencrypted protocol may lead to network intrusions, leading to exposure to sensitive information. So, if there is insecure transmission of user account details such as usernames, passwords, and other sensitive details over the network, it may lead to user account vulnerabilities. Similarly, if internet services are misconfigured, leaving open ports or third-party integration misconfigured makes the network vulnerable. While a misconfiguration of hardware can allow attackers to obtain access to the network system, a misconfiguration in software can allow attackers to obtain access to applications. The second is technological weaknesses. If the hardware or the software is not capable of defending against the attack, the system will be vulnerable to cyber attacks. For example, systems running on old versions of web browsers or specific versions of software and hardware are more vulnerable to cyber attacks. There are some protocols like HTTP, ICMP, and SNMP that are inherently insecure, so if any system or network is using these protocols, they are vulnerable to cyber attacks. Similarly, few operating systems have known vulnerabilities, and if they are not patched with the latest updates, they may create a loophole in the system. Network device vulnerabilities occur when various network devices, such as routers, firewalls, and switches, can be vulnerable due to a lack of password protection, authentication, insecure routing protocols, and firewall vulnerabilities. Systems can also be vulnerable due to the carelessness of the end users. A user may reveal sensitive information through social engineering or any other technique that can compromise security. For example, imagine an employee writes system password on a sticky note and leaves it on the desk. If someone sees it, he or she can easily use it to access sensitive data. Suppose the weak passwords are set for system accounts. In that case, it makes it very easy for the attackers to gain access to the system by credential theft and password guessing, leaving the system account vulnerable. Default settings and passwords also present significant danger. Leaving network devices with their default passwords and settings lets attackers readily access the system. Last is intentional end-user acts, such as ex-employees who continue to have access to shared drives, which can misuse them by revealing the company's sensitive data and information. This act is an intentional end-user attack and can lead to heavy data and financial losses. In this video, we will discuss the different types of attacks. Attacks can be classified into different categories: passive attacks, active attacks, close-in attacks, insider attacks, and distribution attacks. We will cover every attack in depth with examples so you can understand their classification. Let's start with the first attack, which is the passive attack. Passive attacks are attacks where data is not tampered with or changed during an attack. We know that there is data flow in the network. In a passive attack, the attacker monitors, also called reconnaissance in cybersecurity terms, network activities using different sniffer tools like Shodan, Sensis, and Web Archive, gathering valuable information to perform attacks. Passive attacks are difficult to detect, as the attacker has no active interaction with the target system. Passive attacks allow an attacker to capture the data being transmitted in the network without any consent from the user. Examples of passive attacks are footprinting, sniffing, and eavesdropping. The next type of attack is an active attack. Active attacks are those types of attacks in which tampering with data or services is performed. For example, an attacker may try to bypass the secured systems to gain unauthorized access to the systems. Attackers may launch attacks on the different target systems by sending traffic actively. Active attacks can be detected as attackers interact with the target system. These attacks are performed on the target network to exploit the information. Attackers may penetrate the target's internal network to gain unauthorized remote access or compromise the internal networks. For example, the attacker may perform DOS, denial of service, attacks to bring down the services of the target system. Examples of active attacks include denial of service, DOS, attacks, man-in-the-middle, MITM, attacks, session hijacking, SQL injections, bypassing protection mechanisms, profiling, backdoor access, and spoofing. Now, let's talk about the close-in attack. Close-in attacks are performed when an attacker is close to the target system or network. In close-in attacks, the attacker tries to get close to targets so that the attacking environment can be set up easily. The main goal of these types of attacks is to gather information about the target system. For example, if an attacker is close to the target, an attacker may try to shoulder surf to get the user credentials or sensitive data of another user. Social engineering is another example of close-in attacks. Now let us move on to another kind of attack, the insider attack. Insider attacks are performed by trusted individuals who already have access to the critical information of the target systems. As an insider has access to the system, they can easily exploit it to assess information, incur financial loss, tarnish brand, and disrupt business operations. As insiders do these types of attacks, it's tough to identify these attacks. For example, theft of physical devices, data theft by employees, and installation of malware are some examples of insider attacks. Let's move on to the next kind of attack, the distribution attack. So, the distribution attack occurs when an attacker tampers with hardware or software to install malware. This tampering happens before the software or hardware reaches the end user. Distribution attacks exploit backdoors or loopholes in the software and hardware that vendors create at the time of manufacturing. Attackers leverage these loopholes to modify the hardware or software. So, these are the different categories of attacks. In this video, we will discuss hacking and the motives behind hacking. So, let us start with what hacking is. When a person gains unauthorized access to a target system or network, it is called hacking. Hacking involves modifying application features to achieve a motive. The motive could be to steal data, modify or delete data, disrupt business operations, or exploit system vulnerabilities. Hacking is generally done using scripts or other network programming. It can be done by creating viruses and worms, performing different types of attacks like denial of service, DOS, attacks, creating botnets, packet sniffing, executing phishing, and cracking passwords. In 2017, there was a ransomware attack known as WannaCry. A ransomware worm spread globally, locking user data and demanding Bitcoin payments. This attack affected more than 200,000 computers worldwide and resulted in a lot of financial loss for users. Financial gain is not the only motive behind hacking. Other motives include taking revenge, settling personal issues, doing it for thrill, curiosity, or just to gain peer recognition. Attacks can also be done just for experimentation, to gain knowledge on how it works, or to find loopholes in the system so that they can be fixed, among several other reasons. So, let us dive deep into the objectives of hacking. Let's see the first objective, data theft and espionage. In this motive, hackers aim to steal sensitive data. This data could belong to an organization such as financial data or corporate secrets, or it can be personal details of users and clients. This sensitive data is sold by cybercriminals on the dark web or can be used by competitors as well. The second objective is financial gain. Many attacks, such as ransomware, phishing, and credit card fraud, are financially motivated. So, once the system is hacked, hackers may demand ransom payments or do fraud tractions using stolen banking credentials, or can mine cryptocurrency using victim resources. The third objective is service disruption. In these attacks, the motive is to bring down the target server so that the complete operation of the organization is disrupted. Some attacks, like distributed denial of service, DDoS, attacks are used for service disruption by causing downtime of the target servers. Organizations may use these attacks to harm competitors. The fourth objective is identity theft and fraud. In this, hackers steal credentials to impersonate someone else and may open fraudulent accounts. These accounts are then used in scams, causing targets financial loss and reputation loss. You might have seen a lot of social media accounts getting hacked and frauds committed in this way. Fifth is system control and exploitation. In this, hackers try to gain full control over a system by installing backdoors, malware, rootkits, and botnets to maintain long-term access to the system. This allows hackers to do spying on the victim's machine and manipulating their data in an ongoing manner. Sixth is ethical hacking and security testing. So, all hacking is not done for doing damage. Some hacking is done for ethical purposes to strengthen the security. White hat hackers, also called as ethical hackers, use hacking techniques to identify vulnerabilities in the system and pass their finding to the organizations. Organizations then fix the vulnerability and make the system safer against hacking. Ethical hackers also perform penetration testing and security audits to help organizations strengthen their cybersecurity defenses. So, we have seen that hacking objectives can be destructive or beneficial depending on the intent. A person who does the hacking is known as a hacker. While cybercriminals exploit weaknesses for personal gain, ethical hackers work to protect data, prevent data breaches, and enhance security. In this video, we will discuss types of hackers. Hackers can be classified based on their background, motivations, cyber activity, and potential targets. Hackers can be classified as script kiddies, white hat hackers, black hat hackers, gray hat hackers, hacktivists, state-sponsored hackers, cyber terrorists, corporate spies, blue hat hackers, red hat hackers, green hat hackers, suicide hackers, hacker teams, insiders, criminal syndicates, and organized hackers. Let us start with the first category of hackers. Script kiddies are unskilled hackers who compromise systems by running different scripts, tools, and software developed by other real hackers. Script kiddies focus on the quantity rather than the quality of the attacks that they initiate. They do not have a specific target or goal in performing the attack. They do it to gain popularity or prove their technical skills. Next, we have white hat hackers, also known as penetration testers. These individuals use their hacking skills for defensive purposes to create a safer environment. These days, almost every organization has security analysts who are experts in cybersecurity and help implement hacking countermeasures to secure their networks and information systems against malicious attacks. Moving on, we have black hat hackers. These hackers are individuals who use their skills to perform illegal activities. They are criminal-type hackers who do malicious activities. They are also known as crackers. Up next are gray hat hackers. These are the types of hackers who work for both offensive and defensive purposes, depending on the situation. They might help hackers find various vulnerabilities, and on the other hand, they also help vendors improve their products by checking limitations and making them secure. We also have hacktivists. Hacktivists are hackers who break into government systems as an act of protest. These hackers try to increase awareness of social agendas and boost their own reputation in both online and offline areas. They promote different political party agendas, especially by defacing websites. Now, let's talk about state-sponsored hackers. These types of hackers are employed by the government. They hack to gain top-secret information from organizations and other countries and damage the information systems of enemy military organizations. Up next are cyber terrorists. These kinds of hackers have a wide range of skills and are motivated by political beliefs to create fear and large-scale damage to computer systems. Next up are corporate spies. These are the kinds of hackers who perform illegal corporate spying on competitor organizations. They focus on stealing critical information such as formulas, product designs, blueprints, customer data, and trade secrets from competitor organizations. Next, we have blue hat hackers. These hackers are contract-based cybersecurity professionals hired by organizations to evaluate software vulnerabilities. They conduct security assessments and penetration testing. Following that, we have red hat hackers. Red hat hackers are very aggressive hackers, similar to black hat hackers. They not only try to identify security vulnerabilities, but also take actions to destroy black hat hackers' activities. Their approach is more efficient, like that of white hat hackers, but they do not follow ethical rules to take down black hat hackers. Let us look at the next type of hackers, green hat hackers. They are highly motivated by the desire to become skilled cybersecurity professionals. They spend time practicing ethical hacking, aiming to contribute to security efforts rather than causing harm. Next up are suicide hackers. These hackers aim to bring down critical infrastructure for a cause and are not too worried about facing punishments. Suicide hackers are like suicide bombers who sacrifice their lives for an attack, ready to face the consequences of their actions. Now, let us talk about hacker teams. A hacker team is a group of skilled hackers with their own resources and funding. They work together to research different technologies. They can also detect vulnerabilities, develop advanced tools, and carry out planned attacks. Next, we have insiders. These are trusted people, such as employees, who have access to critical systems of an organization. An insider attacker uses privileged access to violate security policies and harm organizations by leaking information or infecting the systems. The next type of hacker is criminal syndicates. These types of hackers are groups of communities involved in organized and planned criminal activities. They exploit victims on the internet, making them difficult to locate. Lastly, we have organized hackers. These hackers are groups of hackers working together in different criminal activities. Such groups are well structured and consist of leaders and workers. The group can also have multiple layers of management, making it harder to track. These criminals do not use their own devices. Rather, they use rented devices. That covers the different types of hackers, their motives, and how they operate in the cyber world. In this demonstration, we will see how to set up Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a Debian-based operating system that is widely used by hackers and penetration testers for security assessments. To install Kali Linux, we need two things: the Kali Linux ISO file and a virtualization platform, such as VirtualBox. Let's begin with downloading the Kali Linux ISO file. Open your web browser, go to the search bar, and type kali.org. You will land on the official Kali Linux website. Click on the download button located in the middle of the screen. You will now see several platform options available for Kali Linux. Let's choose the second option, Virtual Machines. Click on Recommended for Virtual Machines. You will get several options to download the VM, such as Hyper-V, CMU, VMware, and VirtualBox. Let's select VirtualBox. Click the download arrow button present at the bottom of VirtualBox option. In the pop-up window, choose the location where you want to save the file in. Click the Save button on the bottom right of the pop-up window to begin the download. While Kali Linux is downloading, open a new tab and search for VirtualBox. From the search results, click on the first link, Oracle VirtualBox. You'll see the VirtualBox homepage. In the interface, click on Download button under the Get Started section on the right. Next, under VirtualBox Platform Packages, click on the first option, Windows Hosts. Choose the file location in the pop-up window, and then click Save to begin downloading the installer. Once both files are successfully downloaded, you will have the Kali Linux zip file and the VirtualBox installer. To extract, right-click on the Kali Linux zip file, select Extract All, and then click Extract in the pop-up window. While the extraction is in progress, note that it may take some time, so let us proceed with installing VirtualBox. Double-click on the VirtualBox installer. Then, follow the setup instructions by clicking Next, accept the license agreement terms, and click on Next, and now click on Yes, Next, and finally click on Install to complete the installation. Click on Finish once the setup is done. Once VirtualBox is installed and the Kali Linux file has been fully extracted, open the extracted folder. Double-click on the blue icon file inside the folder. Then, in VirtualBox, click on Tools at the top of the left sidebar and select Add. Browse to the desktop, select the Kali Linux file, and click Open. After the file loads, double-click on the blue icon file again to launch the virtual machine. It will automatically configure and open within VirtualBox. Click on Start arrow button located at the top to boot Kali Linux. We can see that the Kali Linux is starting. When prompted for login credentials, enter username, Kali as the username, and for password, enter Kali. Click Login. For a better viewing experience, switch to full screen mode. Next, click on the terminal emulator located at the top left corner to open the terminal. In the terminal, type sudo su and press enter. When prompted, enter the password, Kali. You are now logged in as root, which gives you administrative privileges. Now type sudo apt update and press enter. Again, enable full screen mode so you can view the interface comfortably. With that, the setup of Kali Linux is complete. In this video, we will explore ethical hacking in depth, helping you understand the difference between hacking and ethical hacking. Later, we will discuss why ethical hacking is important. So, let us jump into what ethical hacking is. Hacking is commonly associated with illegal and unethical activities. However, ethical hacking is completely legal and authorized. Ethical hacking helps organizations test their network security for possible vulnerabilities. People who do ethical hacking are called ethical hackers or white hat hackers. In some organizations, they are also known as security analysts, who are experts at performing ethical hacking on targeted organizations. Many organizations, such as private organizations, government organizations, and universities, hire white hat hackers to strengthen their cybersecurity and prevent cyber attacks. Ethical hackers perform hacking ethically with the permission of the organization. Their intention is not to harm, but to identify possible vulnerabilities in the system before the attackers find them. Ethical hackers report all the possible vulnerabilities in the system to the organization for a patch or remediation. They perform hacking to provide a safer environment for the organization. Ethical hackers audit their systems for known vulnerabilities. Ethical hacking involves hacking tricks, tools, and techniques that an attacker uses to find vulnerabilities in the network or system. The important difference between ethical hackers and malicious hackers, also known as crackers, is consent. Crackers usually try to gain unauthorized access, while ethical hackers are always completely open and transparent about their work. Therefore, ethical hacking is legal. Moving on, let us understand why ethical hacking is important. As technology increases, the risk associated with it also grows. So, we have a phrase that says, to beat a hacker, it is necessary to think like one. Let us explore the reasons why ethical hacking is important. First is the prevention of cyber attacks. Ethical hackers help organizations detect and fix vulnerabilities before cybercriminals can exploit them. Second is data protection. Ethical hackers are responsible for preventing data breaches and ensuring sensitive data like financial records, customer data, and trade secrets remain secure. Third is strengthening security infrastructure. Ethical hackers help organizations improve their firewalls, intrusion detection systems, IDS, and encryption methods to protect their systems better. Fourth, it enhances user trust. A secure system builds customer trust and confidence by ensuring their data and privacy are secure. Fifth is testing and improving security systems. Ethical hackers help conduct system audits and evaluate security defenses to improve overall cybersecurity infrastructure. Sixth is defending against evolving threats. Ethical hackers act as cyber threat resolvers to ensure continuous security updates and proactive defenses. Last is protection against financial loss. Ethical hacking prevents cyber attacks that can cause financial damage to an organization. It resolves risks that lead to the loss of financial details and transactions in security. Sometimes, to save resources and prevent further discovery, the client might decide to end the evaluation after finding the first vulnerability, so it is necessary to understand the suitable environment for the ethical hacker and the client. In this video, we will discuss the scope and limitations of ethical hacking so you can understand the boundaries of the targeted area and how to work ethically. Ethical hacking is a structured security assessment usually conducted as part of penetration testing or security audits. It is crucial to risk assessment, auditing, counter fraud, and information system security. To conduct ethical hacking, the scope needs to be set beforehand. Scope refers to the boundaries, rules, and limitations set for penetration testing. It defines what systems, networks, and applications can be tested or allowed to be tested in security assessments. A well-defined scope ensures that ethical hacking activities are legal, controlled, and aligned with the organization's security goals without damaging operations. Now that we understand the scope, let us understand the limitations. The assessment might not be beneficial if an organization does not know its security concerns and goals before hiring an outside vendor to hack systems. So, an ethical hacker determines the scope of the security assessment according to the client's security concerns. Many ethical hackers work together and conduct a full-scale test covering all the security assessments according to the client's needs and requirements. An ethical hacker should know about the penalties for unauthorized hacking into a system. Ethical hackers cannot perform hacking activities related to network penetration and security audits before receiving a signed legal document from the target organization. Ethical hackers must follow certain guidelines, like gaining authorization from the client and having a signed document to perform security testing. Ethical hackers must maintain confidentiality when performing the test and follow a non-disclosure agreement, NDA. This document contains the client's confidential details and rules regarding vulnerability disclosure. The information gathered during the assessment might be sensitive, so as an ethical hacker, you should not disclose any information about the test to a third party. Ethical hackers should perform the test up to, but not beyond the agreed limits, and action should be limited within the ethical areas to cover in assessments. For example, ethical hackers should perform DOS attacks only if they have permission to do so. This is extremely important as an organization's network may be down due to security testing, resulting in a loss of revenue and reputation. The following steps provide a framework for performing a security audit of an organization to ensure that the test is ethical, organized, and efficient. The first is to talk to the client to discuss the scope before testing. The second is to prepare and sign the NDA document with the client. The third is to organize an ethical hacking team and prepare the schedule for testing. The fourth is to conduct the security assessment properly. Fifth, the testing results will be analyzed and an assessment report will be prepared. The final step is to present the assessment report, which includes the findings, to the client or security team. However, there are a few limitations. Unless the business first knows what it is looking for and why it is hiring outside vendors to hack its systems, it may not benefit from the assessment. Here, an ethical hacker helps organizations better understand their security systems. However, it is up to the organization to take corrective actions or not. Hope the scope and limitations of ethical hacking are clear. Burp Suite is a well-known tool that is good for hackers to look for security loopholes in web apps. It lets users see and change the data that is sent between a web browser and the internet. They can use this to find problems like broken logins or weaknesses in security that are hidden. The company who made Burp Suite is Portswigger. This is a well-known company that makes great security tools. Ethical hackers love it because it has everything they need in one place, from checking web apps for bugs to testing. Professionals in computer security choose it because it's powerful and easy to use. This tool has so many extensions, like repeater, intruder, comparer, sequencer, and lots more which you can use in the extension part of Burp Suite. In this demo, we will demonstrate the steps for installing Burp Suite and its components. Burp Suite is developed by a company called Portswigger, and this is a powerful tool widely used by ethical hackers and penetration testers. Burp Suite is also frequently used by real-world attackers. Let's begin by setting up Burp Suite in our Kali Linux environment, which we installed in the previous demo. Before we begin, please make sure your Kali Linux is set up and ready to go. Burp Suite comes pre-installed in Kali Linux. To open it, click on the application menu in the top left corner. Next, type Burp into the search bar. Select it from the list and launch application. Now click Next, then choose Start Burp. Burp Suite will begin launching. If this is your first time using it, it may take a few moments to initialize. Once it loads, you'll see the Burp Suite interface. We're using the Community Edition, as indicated in the title bar of the window. There are two versions available, the free Community Edition and the paid Professional Edition. For this demo, we'll continue with the Community Edition, which is available to everyone at no cost. Our next step is to access the Proxy tab from the top menu bar and open the browser. To do this, click Open Browser. This launches a Chromium-based browser provided by Portswigger. With the browser now open, let's intercept some web traffic by visiting google.com. First, return to the Burp Suite interface and go to the Proxy tab, then select the Intercept subtab. Make sure Intercept is enabled so we can capture requests between the client and the server. Now go back to the browser and enter google.com in the search bar. At this point, you should see a captured request between the client and the server in Burp Suite. Right-click on the request. You will see major extensions such as Send to Intruder, Send to Repeater, Send to Sequencer, Send to Comparer, Send to Decoder, and Send to Organizer. You can also view request details and session information. To pass the request to the server, click the Forward button at the top of the Intercept subtab. To stop intercepting further traffic, click the Intercept is on button in the Intercept tab. Forwarding is particularly useful when navigating websites that require multiple page interactions. That wraps up our demo on setting up and using Burp Suite in Kali Linux. This video will discuss AI-driven ethical hacking and its key concepts and explore whether AI can replace ethical hackers. We will also explore new AI tools for ethical hacking, including those powered by ChatGPT. Let us start with what AI-driven ethical hacking is. In today's era, artificial intelligence, AI, is advancing rapidly and transforming various fields to enhance efficiency and accuracy. With the advancement of AI, cyber threats have become more sophisticated. Hackers more frequently use AI-driven tools to automate hacking attempts, take advantage of security vulnerabilities, and go beyond cybersecurity measures. So, cybersecurity professionals use AI-driven ethical hacking to stay ahead of cyber threats. After all, AI-driven ethical hacking is more efficient and effective. AI-driven ethical hacking helps professionals detect emerging threats, encounter malicious actors, and generate detailed security reports to address vulnerabilities. Now, let's talk about the benefits of ethical AI hacking. Scalability. AI solutions can be scaled to handle the growing complexity of cyber threats. Cost effectiveness. Automation gains can reduce the overall cost of cybersecurity. Efficiency. AI can quickly process large amounts of data, making testing faster and more efficient. Let's now discuss how ethical hackers benefit from AI-driven ethical hacking. Automation of repetitive tasks. AI automates regular tasks, allowing ethical hackers to focus on more complicated issues. Predictive analysis. AI anticipates possible dangers, allowing ethical hackers to remain ahead. Advanced threat detection. Sophisticated threats are identified faster and more accurately. Enhanced decision-making. AI gives insights that allow for real-time decisions. Improved reporting. Detailed and accurate security reports are rapidly generated. Simulation and testing. Simulating attacks detects vulnerabilities. Scalability. AI can scale to address more complicated security concerns. Continuous monitoring. AI continuously analyzes systems to discover threats in real time. So, it's a myth that AI will replace ethical hackers. While AI technologies can automate some aspects of ethical hacking tasks, they cannot replace the creativity, critical thinking, and deep knowledge that human ethical hackers offer. Ethical hacking includes knowing how digital objects operate and making them safer. Although AI technologies can speed up and simplify hacking, they are not flawless. Humans must monitor them to ensure that they are functioning properly and that the results are accurate. Now, let's talk about AI-powered tools that ethical hackers use to enhance cybersecurity. Some well-known tools include ShellGPT, AutoGPT, WormGPT, ChatGPT with Dan Prompt, FreedomGPT, and FraudGPT. Each of these tools serves a unique purpose. Let us examine the purpose of each of these tools. ShellGPT enables professionals to manage complicated systems better, develop safe code, and automate repetitive processes. AutoGPT improves cybersecurity operations by automating tasks and managing vast amounts of data. WormGPT, which mimics cyber attacks, is used to evaluate protection measures. ChatGPT with the Dan prompt is a modified version that increases flexibility and allows ethical hackers to execute various security activities. FreedomGPT eliminates standard AI content limits, allowing cybersecurity experts to do research without limitations. FraudGPT specializes in detecting fraudulent activity using pattern analysis, assisting companies in mitigating financial and security risks. In addition to these tools, we also have HackerGPT, BurpGPT, BugBountyGPT, PinTastGPT, GPT White Hat, BugHunterGPT, Hacking APIs GPT, HackerNewsGPT, and Ethical HackerGPT. While these tools greatly enhance ethical hacking capabilities, they should always be used responsibly to strengthen cybersecurity rather than to exploit vulnerabilities. In this video, we will discuss hacking methodologies and frameworks. We will define hackers' approach towards security and the cyber kill chain methodology. Let's begin. Hacking methodologies and frameworks strengthen the security infrastructure of organizations. They help ethical hackers to understand the phases involved in hacking attempts along with TTPs used by real hackers. Ethical hacking frameworks outline the step-by-step method for ethical hacking. The CEH ethical hacking framework uses attackers' methodology and enables security professionals to comprehend various hacking steps used by real hackers. According to the CEH ethical hacking framework, the following are various phases involved in hacking. Phase 1 is reconnaissance, also known as footprinting. In this phase, attackers gather all the possible information about their target prior to launching the attack. In the reconnaissance phase, there are multiple things: footprinting, scanning, and enumeration. Reconnaissance can be done using WHOS lookup, network scanning, DNS interrogation, or through Google dorking, among many other ways. We will understand these in details in upcoming lessons. Scanning involves scanning the networks for open ports, and enumeration is the intrusive probing where the attacker makes active connection to the target system. Let's understand reconnaissance with the help of an example. Before launching a phishing campaign, an attacker can go to LinkedIn and find employees in HR and other employees. Then he can figure out the company's email formats on the company's contact page. Once they get email formats, they can create a fake HR update email using this info. Please note that the reconnaissance phase is limited to gathering information only and not the actual attack. Phase 2 is vulnerability scanning. In this phase, vulnerabilities are identified through system examination along with its current security controls. It recognizes, measures, and classifies the security vulnerability in computer systems. Attackers perform vulnerability scanning to identify security loopholes in the target network or in system. The identified vulnerabilities are used by attackers to perform further exploitation of the target networks. Phase 3 is gaining access. Actual hacking occurs in this phase. Attackers use information from the previous phases along with password cracking techniques to exploit vulnerabilities and gain overall access to the target system. Gaining access refers to the point at which the attacker obtains access to the operating system, OS, on the computer or network. Phase 4 is maintaining access. In this phase, attacker attempts to retain ownership over the victim's machine. Once an attacker gains access to the system with admin privileges, they try to use the system and resources at their will. Attackers can upload and download the system data, or also use malicious software to transfer usernames, passwords, and other information stored in the system. The last phase is clearing tracks. In this phase, the attacker clears their tracks to remain undetected on the target machine. They remove all the evidence of their presence by modifying the logs in the system using different log wiping utilities. Now let us discuss another cybersecurity framework called Cyber Kill Chain Methodology. This framework outlines the stages of a cyber attack from initial planning to final execution. The Cyber Kill Chain Methodology is a component of intelligence-driven defense for the identification and prevention of malicious intrusion activities. It provides greater insight into attack phases, which helps security professionals to understand adversaries' TTPs beforehand. Let us discuss the phases in the Cyber Kill Chain Methodology. The first phase is reconnaissance, which involves the attacker gathering data on the target machine to find vulnerabilities. The second phase is weaponization, where the creation of malicious payloads is done using an exploit or backdoor. The third phase is delivery, where the payload is transmitted to the victim using email, USB, and so on. The fourth phase is exploitation, in which vulnerability is exploited by executing malicious code on the target system. Fifth phase is installation, in which malware is installed on the target system. Sixth phase is command and control, in which a two-way communication channel is established between adversary-controlled server and the victim system. The last phase is actions on objectives, in which actions are performed to achieve intended goals. So, these are different phases involved in the hacking. We will deep dive into all of the phases in upcoming lessons. In this video, we will discuss various security laws and security standards. Let us start by understanding cyber law. Any law that protects the internet and other online communication technologies is a cyber law. Cyber laws provide assurance that the confidentiality, integrity, security, and privacy of information in both government and private organizations are maintained. Security standards are the guidelines to protect systems, ensure compliance, and prevent cyber threats. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, International Organization for Standardization, ISO/IEC, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, HIPAA, General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, and Data Protection Authority, DPA, are some of the common security standards. Let's explore each of these standards in detail. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, PCI DSS, ensures safe card transactions by protecting payment data through encryption, access control, and regular audits. This security standard handles major cardholder data for debit, credit, prepaid, e-purse, ATM, and POS cards in an organization. The Payment Card Industry, PCI, Standards Council was established to maintain PCI DSS rules and regulations for secure payment transactions. PCI data security standards maintain a secure network, protect cardholder information, manage vulnerabilities, implement strong access control measures, regularly monitor and test networks, and maintain information policies of security. If an organization fails to maintain PCI DSS requirements, then it may result in fines or the termination of payment processing privileges. Now, let's move on to the ISO/IEC standards. ISO/IEC 27001:2022 is a prominent ISO standard. It is an international standard that defines the outline for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continually improving an information security management system, ISMS. The standard focuses on ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability, CIA triad, of information, which is a core principle in information security. The standard helps organizations to manage security risk and protect sensitive data, including financial, intellectual property, third-party, and employee data by providing a structured approach for identifying and mitigating security risks. Other major ISO standards include ISO/IEC 27701, 2019, ISO/IEC 27002, 2022 ISO/IC 27005, 2022 ISO/IC 27018, 2019 ISO/IC 27032, 2023 ISO/IEC 27033-7, 2023 ISO/IC 27036-3, 2023 ISO/IC 27040, 2024. Let's take a look at the Health Insurance Probability and Accountability Act, HIPAA. The HIPAA privacy rules provide federal protection for individuals' health information, ensuring that their covered entities and business associates handle data securely. It gives patients rights over their health information. It ensures the CIA triad of healthcare data through strict security regulations. HIPAA applies to entities such as hospitals, insurance providers, and healthcare organizations, all of which must adhere to its regulations. Noncompliance can lead to significant fines and reputational damage for the organizations involved. Our next security standard, the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, is one of the strongest privacy and security laws globally. GDPR imposes very high fines against those who violate its privacy and their respective security standards. It was drafted by the European Union, EU. It imposes obligations on organizations worldwide if they collect data related to people in the EU. There are a few GDPR data protection principles. The first principle is the lawfulness, fairness, and transparency of the data. The second principle is purpose limitations, where data must be collected for legitimate purposes. The third principle is data minimization, which includes collecting and processing only the necessary data for the specified purpose. The fourth principle is accuracy, where personal data must be accurate, up-to-date, and compliant with security regulations. The fifth principle is storage limitations, which ensures personal data is kept only for its necessary and specified purpose. The sixth principle is integrity and confidentiality, where data processing must be done in an appropriate way to ensure security, integrity, and confidentiality. The seventh principle is accountability, where the data controller is responsible for demonstrating GDPR compliance with all these principles. Lastly, in security standards, we have the Data Protection Act 2018, DPA. A DPA framework is used for data protection law in the United Kingdom. It updates and replaces the Data Protection Act 1998 and came into effect in May 2018. The DPA protects individuals by ensuring personal data is processed lawfully, granting them the right to access information, and assigning regulatory functions to the Commissioner. DPA outlines regulations that separate personal data from other information. It extends data protection to national security and defense. It also establishes the functions and powers of the Information Commissioner's Office in monitoring and enforcing data protection regulations. These are some of the cyber laws and security standards ensuring cybersecurity. In this video, we will define risk, the concept of risk assessment, different risk levels, and the key objectives of a cybersecurity professional in conducting a risk assessment. Let us first understand risk. Risk is the potential loss or damage that occurs when threats exploit system vulnerabilities. In cybersecurity, this encompasses security breaches that affect systems, data, and resources. Risks are classified based on their level of impact. The relationship between risk, threat, vulnerability, and impact can be defined as follows. Risk is the result of the combination of threat, vulnerability, and impact. In formula terms, risk equals threat asterisk vulnerability asterisk impact. Now let's discuss the risk levels. Risk level is determined by the impact on the network. Various methods can be used to define risk level, depending on the severity of potential impact. Extreme, high, medium, and low are the four risk levels. Extreme risk. Immediate and serious actions are required when the risk occurs. High risk, serious concerns, but not as critical as extreme risk. Prompt action is necessary. Medium risk, no immediate action is needed, but it should be addressed over time. Low risk, minimal danger. Preventive measures are recommended, but it may be accepted as an acceptable risk. Now let's explore risk management or risk assessment. Risk management involves reducing and maintaining risks at an acceptable level through proper risk assessment. Risk management activities depend upon how effectively risks are controlled to minimize their potential impact. It is a complex process that involves managing the security lifecycle to reduce the impact of risks. The objectives behind risk management include: identify potential risks at their root levels to understand potential threats. Identify the impact of risks and help the organization develop risk management strategies and plans. Prioritize the risks depending on the severity or impact of risk and use established risk management method, tools, and techniques to assist in this task. Understand, analyze, and report identified risk events. Control the risk and mitigate its effect. Raise awareness among the security staff and develop risk management strategies. Now that we know the objectives, let us discuss the phases of risk management. Risk management is a continuous process aimed at achieving security goals at every phase. It helps to reduce and maintain the security risks at an acceptable level within security programs and is applied in all stages of an organization. There are 4 phases of risk management, namely risk identification, risk assessment, risk treatment, and risk monitoring and reporting. Risk identification is the initial step in the risk management plan. In this phase, potential risks are identified, including the sources, causes, and consequences of both internal and external risks that could impact the organization. The second phase of risk management is risk assessment. The identified risks are evaluated, and their potential impact is estimated. This step determines the severity of risks and helps in planning appropriate risk control measures. The third phase of risk management is risk treatment. It involves selecting suitable security controls to identify risks. This step includes assigning responsibilities, evaluating costs, determining the likelihood of success, and measuring the effectiveness of risk treatment strategies. The fourth and final phase is risk monitoring and reporting. It focuses on continuously tracking the performance of risk management measures. It involves documenting incidents through detailed reports, conducting regular inspections, and performing compliance checks to identify areas for improvement. This video will discuss cyber threat intelligence and its life cycle in cybersecurity. A threat refers to the possibility of malicious attacks that can compromise a system's security, potentially disrupting an organization's operations. It can impact the organization's physical structure and cause intentional or accidental damage. This makes cyber threat intelligence crucial for ensuring cybersecurity. Cyber threat intelligence, CTI, analyzes information on threats and adversaries to make informed decisions for preparedness, prevention, and reaction to cyber attacks. It is about identifying unknown threats to an organization and enhancing security. Threat intelligence is any information about threats that leads to an organization's planning and decision-making to deal with them. Now, let's look at the types of threat intelligence. There are 4 types of threat intelligence, namely strategic, tactical, operational, and technical threat intelligence. Let's discuss each of them. The first type is strategic threat intelligence, which provides information regarding cybersecurity threats and the financial impacts of various cyber activities. This information is consumed by the high-level executives of the organization, such as the IT management team and the CISO, Chief Information Security Officer, of the company. This threat intelligence is used to make business decisions and analyze their effects. Based on the analysis, management can allocate budgets and staff to protect critical assets and business processes. Strategic threat intelligence helps organizations to find any similar past incidents, determine the intention of the attack, and analyze factors that could make them a target. Additionally, it provides insights into how to mitigate the risk level. The second type of threat intelligence is tactical, which plays a significant role in protecting an organization's resources. It provides information related to TTPs used by threat actors in cyber attacks. This intelligence is used by IT service managers, security operation managers, Network Operations Center, NOC, staff, administrators, and system architects. Sources of tactical threat intelligence include campaign reports, incident reports, human intelligence, malware attack group reports, and other information. It is generally obtained by reading white papers or technical reports, communicating with other organizations, and purchasing intelligence from third parties. The third type is operational threat intelligence, which provides contextual information about security events and incidents to help defenders disclose potential risks, better understand attacker methodologies, identify previous malicious activities, and conduct more efficient investigations into malicious activity. This information is used by security managers, incident response leaders, network defenders, and security forensics to make informed threat prevention decisions. It converts unknown threats into known ones, allowing businesses to prevent attacks and enhance security. This intelligence is crucial for secure data sharing and transactions. The fourth type is technical threat intelligence, which provides information about the resources that attackers use to launch attacks. This comprises command and control software and other harmful technologies. It enables rapid distribution and response to threats. Indicators of technical threat intelligence collected from active campaigns, attacks on different organizations, data feeds, and external third parties. This information helps security professionals integrate these indicators into defensive systems such as IDS, IPS, firewalls, and penetration testing tools to enhance detection and security mechanisms. Now, let's look closer at the threat intelligence lifecycle. It is a continuous process of developing intelligence from raw data that supports organizations in developing defensive mechanisms and managing cybersecurity emergencies. It is a five-phase process: planning and direction, collection, processing and exploitation, analysis and production, and dissemination and integration. The first phase is planning and direction. In this phase, the intelligence team develops a collection plan, defines objectives, and sends requests for data collection and other requirements. The second phase is collection, in which data is collected from various resources such as OSINT, open source intelligence. The data can be collected through technical or human sources, depending on the sensitivity and confidentiality of the information. The third phase is processing and exploitation. In this phase, the data collected is in the raw format, and the data obtained from previous phases is processed, organized, and transformed into useful information that could be used for analysis. The next phase is analysis and production. Threat intelligence is refined, structured, and evaluated for reliability, ensuring it provides actionable insights for decision-making. The last phase is integration and dissemination. In this phase, the analyzed intelligence is distributed to intended consumers using automated or manual methods. Common types of disseminated threat intelligence include threat indicators, adversary TTPs, security alerts, tool configurations, and threat intelligence reports. In conclusion, the life cycle of cyber threat intelligence helps organizations proactively mitigate risks and strengthen defenses. In this video, we will discuss the role of artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning, ML, in cybersecurity. Also, we'll discuss how AI and ML help to prevent cyber threats. Let's begin. Machine learning and artificial intelligence are widespread across various industries, companies, applications, and government sectors due to increased processing capabilities, accuracy, efficiency, storage capability, and data collection. AI and ML are transforming cybersecurity by enhancing threat detection and automatic security processes and improving defense mechanisms against evolving cyber threats. AI-powered IDS, intrusion detection systems, and IPS, intrusion prevention systems, are usually used to analyze real-time vulnerabilities or threats in the system. AI automates incident reporting, reduces manual efforts by security, and enables faster threat mitigations. AI-driven cyber threat intelligence manages web security logs and feeds to predict attacks before they occur. Now let us discuss the role of AI and ML in cybersecurity. Artificial intelligence is the solution to defend networks against various cyber threats that antivirus software cannot detect. ML is a branch of artificial intelligence that allows the system to self-learn without explicit programming. Let's talk about the classification of ML techniques. The first type of classification in ML techniques is supervised learning. In supervised learning, the machine learning approach is where the model learns from labeled data, meaning that each input is paired with a correct output. The goal is to minimize the difference between the predicted and actual outputs. It is used in classification tasks, where data is assigned to categories, and regression tasks, where continuous values are expected. The second type of classification in the ML technique is unsupervised learning. This deals with unlabeled data and focuses on finding hidden patterns and structures within datasets. Instead of predefined outputs, the model clusters similar data points or detects anomalies without human supervision. This approach is widely used in market segmentation, customer behavior analysis, recommendation systems, and anomaly detection in cybersecurity. Next, we will discuss how AI and ML help prevent cyber attacks. AI and ML may secure industries from cybersecurity threats in various ways. Password protection and authentication. AI improves biometric validation and facial recognition to reduce vulnerabilities. Phishing detection and prevention. AI scans emails, URLs, and content for phishing attempts and protects against malicious attacks. Threat detection. ML detects potential cyber attacks and informs administrators about potential threats through data analysis. Vulnerability management. AI finds and prioritizes vulnerabilities for resolution, enhancing risk management strategies. Behavioral analytics. AI examines user behavior to identify anomalies that may suggest insider threats or account compromises. Network security. AI analyzes network traffic and offers efficient security policies to enhance protection. AI-powered antivirus. It detects suspicious app behavior using anomaly detection. Fraud detection. AI models monitor transactions and behavior to detect and prevent identity theft and fraud. Botnet detection. AI analyzes network traffic patterns to detect and minimize botnet activity. AI to combat AI threats. AI detects AI-driven attacks before compromising the network. So, AI and ML have revolutionized cybersecurity by providing advanced threat detection, automated response, and proactive defense mechanisms. AI and ML will play a crucial role in defending against major attacks. In this course, we discussed details of CEH exam, the principles of information security, and the concept of vulnerabilities and their causes. We looked at different types of attacks and the roles of black hat, white hat, and gray hat hackers. We also looked at the difference between ethical and unlawful hacking activities and significant security standards like HIPAA and GDPR and risk assessment procedures. Furthermore, we also discussed why the threat intelligence lifecycle is critical for effective cybersecurity and the significance of AI and machine learning in cybersecurity. In our next course, we'll dive into footprinting,